You are full of energy and I love
Oh my
it.
God, I have exciting news.
Ooh, well, you have reason to have energy then.
I ordered greens for the first time.
Ooh, nice.
I'm very excited. I've never tried them before, but they are always on my TikTok, and I'm always
Yeah,
like, I'm very curious. So I ordered greens for the first time, and my dad is actually the one who was like, "Hey, do you take powdered greens?" And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Let's go on this journey together."
that's awesome.
So I'm like, "Cool. All right." So I just
That's
ordered
so
them.
cool.
And I even got the little like immersion blender, like the little
Yep.
so
Yeah.
um but
We used to drink them a lot.
oh really?
Yeah. And then I'm not trying to ruin your greens experience, but I got to a point where
Oh.
I'd rather just eat a salad than try to drink it. Sometimes it worked for me, and sometimes I was like, oh my gosh, this is like drinking a leaf. So I'm
Oh.
I'm excited for your journey though.
um I'm trying the company Bloom,
Yes, that is who we got. Those were the best. Like those were our favorite.
and they do have other flavors. So I got the original flavor because like
Yeah.
I don't mind like I guess I
Green
wouldn't mind
drink.
drinking. Yeah, I wouldn't mind like if it
Yeah.
tasted like a leaf or lettuce or whatever.
Yeah.
Um I mean I say
Their
that
mixed
now.
berry one was pretty good.
They have
And
like an
their
orange
protein
passion
powders are
fruit one.
really good too.
Oh good, good. Um
Mhm.
But did you know that today is National Fast Food Day?
No, but now I feel like I don't need to make dinner.
I know, right? I know.
Yeah.
So I thought for an icebreaker, I saw it on Crime Junkie, like their
Oh,
podcast.
nice.
So since it's National Fast Food Day,
Hmm.
what is your like favorite fast food place and what is your like go-to order?
Oh, okay. Okay. Fast food.
Mhm.
It shouldn't be this hard. It's just that there are multiple that I really love. So I think this is fast. It might be called like fast casual, but like I'm still considering it fast food and it's a chain, but City Barbecue is a chain that we have here.
Mhm.
Because I just almost always love a pulled pork sandwich. It's one of my favorite things that's like I know you're like gross.
I'm like, oh my God, that's yum.
You're like, I love that for you. I really do love pulled pork. And of all the things that I can make at home, it's one of those things where like I don't have a smoker. I kind of wish I did, but like I'm not going to maintain it. So that's one of my favorite things to get is their pulled pork sandwich. And they have some really good sides, but their corn pudding is so
Oh,
good. Yeah.
I've
And then
never
I get
heard of
strawberry
corn pudding.
lemonade there too. It's just
Hmm.
perfect.
Yum.
Yeah, I
Yum.
know. So very meat heavy. But what about you?
You're like, I like a few meatballs in my lemonade as well.
Right? I'm like
uh,
meat.
I guess like I don't know. I mean, I usually get takeout pizza like every Saturday,
Oh yeah.
but my like go-to is like a Domino's hand tossed pizza
Mm.
with black olives, green peppers, and pineapple.
Oh, that is quite a combo.
It's like you get the salty of like the olive and then like the smokiness of the pepper, and then you get like a little
Mhm.
sweet with the pineapple. It's just
Yeah,
chef's kiss.
I love that. That's like I bet
Hmm.
no one else's answer would have been that too.
It's just so good. And I get it in
Is that
Canada.
like is that something is it like a combo that they have or is that just a combo you made up?
That's my combo.
Nice. I didn't know
That's
if it
my
was like one
combo.
of those things where like some people were like, "Oh yeah, it's that kind of pizza. It's just a Gare pizza."
It's just a Gare pizza. It's kind of like my version of like a vegetarian Hawaiian pizza.
Nice. Yeah.
So, but
I have to
yeah,
check
it's
that
just
out.
so good. It's so good. I used to like my parents used to
Yeah,
get
I'm
like
not
Hawaiian
too
pizza
adventurous.
and I didn't like
Uh-huh.
ham on pizza. So I would like pick the ham off and
Yeah.
only have like whatever veggies were on it. And so
Right.
that's when I was like, I don't think pineapple's really bad on pizza. And so that's my like
Yeah.
go-to. But black olives are my favorite pizza topping. So sometimes I just get olives and cheese.
I don't do olives,
I
but
know,
it
like
sounds
this
so
is
exotic and fun.
this is like literally like everyone like is like always grossed out when I'm like, oh, I love olives on pizza. Except for
Yeah.
Abby, Crime by the
Oh,
Book. It's her
nice.
favorite pizza topping are black olives as
Nice.
well. But yeah, I don't know why. It's just like always been my jam, my little jam, you know?
Mhm. Now I want pizza too.
Oh my God, I know. I know. There's actually a local place that just opened near us, and
Mm.
they have like sandwiches and different like poutines and stuff like that. And one of their
Oh
poutines is
yeah.
like a pulled pork poutine. And
No,
they do
I'd be
like
getting that.
brisket poutine and yeah.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Hmm.
I love it. It's like it's just one of my favorite sandwiches.
I know. I love takeout.
Yeah, I
Fuck
know. Not
cooking.
cooking. Not cooking is always good.
Yeah, yeah. But I love grocery
Always
shopping.
preferred. I don't love that either.
I think it's the grocery stores that I go to. Like they just are like kind of
Yeah,
like fun to like browse. Like Walmart, I want to
right.
get in and I want to get out. But like if I go to like
I
a
kind
fun
of have
grocery
an
store,
equivalent to that. It's like
like Trader
nicer than
Joe's is
Walmart,
fun.
but yeah, yeah, I don't end up going there. But that would be a browse store. I get what
Yeah,
you mean
yeah.
for sure.
Um, so
You had
there's
another
a
good idea.
there's a trend on I haven't seen it on BookTok, but you've seen it on BookTok. I've only seen it on Bookstagram.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
it's
nice.
a
Yeah, I only saw it on BookTok.
I don't know, is it 10 by the end or 10 before the end?
I think it was 10 before the end.
I think it's 10 before the end, but it's basically
Yeah.
this trend where people are posting 10 books that they want to read before the end of the year.
Yep.
Um, and a lot of my friends that are like romance readers have posted them, and I'm like, oh
Hmm.
my God, that's so much fun. So I thought it would be
Yeah.
fun if we each did 5 books, and then that would be our 10. So we could each do
Yes.
5 books that we want to read and have done before January 1st. So like
Yep.
end the year on a good note.
Yeah. So
So
many. I
I
wish I could
know.
read even more, but we'll have
I've
some good
been
ones.
I've been like hardcore. Like I think I'm on my 13th book of the month.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
I've been like binging.
You mean like of November?
Yeah.
It's November 16th for anyone who's listening
Yeah.
at a
Yeah.
different time.
Like you keep tracking. I was like, oh my God. But like
I was
I've
like,
been
wait a
like,
second.
yeah, of November. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, I'm on my 13th book of November.
Wow. That's amazing.
And my 13th book is my first thriller for anyone.
I know. You took a break from the thrills.
I'm back. I'm back.
You
I
are
think it'll be
enjoying
like,
it. At least it's for a good one.
yeah, yeah, it's really good. And there'll definitely be more to come on that. But yeah,
Mm.
so do you want to kick off?
Yeah, I
Ladies
do
first.
because I just started this one, so I'm still gonna include it because I am gonna finish it before the end, and I just needed everyone to know how much I'm enjoying it. A couple different people told me after reading their Vicious Games, they were like, if you liked this, you would probably love Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Amide.
Mhm.
Amide, sorry. Um, and I am obsessed with it. Like I started it last night and I can just it's really long, so I'm not going to be able to blow through it, but I want to. Like I wish I could.
I love the cover too.
But oh my gosh, I think the cover is so cool. Something random though. So are you talking about the cover with like blue as the background? with Ace of Spades like in the front. Basically, the cover on my Kindle book is not as cool as the one on Goodreads, and I'm like, why can't it look as cool as the one on Goodreads? It
Oh,
makes me want to swap it out because I like this one on Goodreads more. It's little things though.
yeah.
But it
Oh,
is about students at Niveus Private Academy, where money paves the hallways and the students are never less than perfect until now, because anonymous texter Aces is bringing two students' dark secrets to light. Talented musician Devon buries himself in rehearsals, but he can't escape the spotlight when his private photos go public. Head girl Shiamaka isn't afraid to get what she wants, but soon everyone will know the price she has paid for power. Someone is out to get them both, someone who holds all the aces, and they're planning much more than a high school game. And Steph, Books in Badgerland,
mhm.
compared it to Gossip Girl, Pretty Little Liars, and Get Out all together. And I was like, I am sold. Like, I have to start this immediately. And it really already feels like all of those, and I'm loving it.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, I love the cover on Goodreads.
Yeah, I think that one is so cool.
I think it's the UK paperback for any of like
Oh, okay.
the cover queens like me.
Yes. Yeah,
Because
you know.
this is the only cover that I've ever seen.
Yeah, that is the one that I have on my Kindle,
Um, but I think the other
which is
one,
still cool. But I
yeah,
like the other one
yeah, I
more.
love the cover. I love that cover. And
Yeah.
then this one I think might be, it says it's like a paperback edition, so this might be like the UK
Okay.
paperback,
Yep. So
which
I'm
I
a big
love.
fan of the UK paperback edition, which
Yeah.
the author is English. So
Oh, cool.
maybe that was the first cover. Who knows?
Um, yeah, I've heard excellent things about that book. Like
It is
everybody,
so good.
there have been a ton of people who told me like you should read it, like it's so
Hmm.
good.
I
Um,
can't believe I hadn't heard about it. Like literally had not until sometime last week. And I was like, how had this? But also I've talked about not loving young adults, so that's probably why it really hasn't been like pushed too far in front of me.
could be.
It doesn't feel like it though.
Young adult
It feels
really
like it could be happening at a college as well.
young adult either like really works for me or really doesn't. I
Yep.
think that if I am in that mood, this one would be one of the ones that does work for me.
Yeah, I think so. That's how I feel as I'm reading it.
Um, yeah, that sounds really good. Um,
And I'm excited because I got her next book on NetGalley as well, Where Sleeping Girls Lie.
is
So
it
I'm so
connected?
excited. No,
No?
separate
Okay.
stories.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm super excited though. Because now I know that I love her writing. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna love this one too.
Ooh, that's exciting. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, God, I have so many different avenues I can go right now.
I
But
bet.
speaking of an author that you know you're gonna love,
Yeah.
my first pick is an author who has a book out already, and her next book is coming out as well. And it's somebody you recommended to me.
Ooh.
So, my first pick that I just received my copy of is One Little Word by Audra McAleer,
Oh my gosh,
um,
I can't wait.
recommended by you. Her next
Yes.
book comes out, I believe, the 5th of December. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna,
If you see me.
yes, so I'm gonna order that and I'm gonna read them back to back. So that's my plan for
Oh,
December.
that'll be so fun.
Um, but this one is about a woman named Allegra Hudson who was murdered, and an anonymous source drops the note into Madeline Barton's lap exactly where she needs it most. The recently widowed single mother is struggling to make ends meet as a freelance reporter and covering the mysterious death of a local best-selling author and legend, Allegra Hudson. Could be the career launching story of her dreams. Working with Allegra's grieving husband, Connor, Madeline plunges down the rabbit hole of Allegra's privileged life. The deeper she digs, the more dirt she finds: a conniving best friend, a stalker ex boyfriend, and a marriage in shambles. The closer Madeline gets to the truth, the murkier the waters become. Her sources looming present and constant meddling in her investigation, paired with her growing bond with Connor over their shared grief, have blinded her to the facts, but they don't explain why Allegra Hudson's life feels so familiar. So this sounds so good. I
Oh,
mean,
you're gonna love
listen,
it.
like, yeah, exactly. Like, you know me very
Hmm.
well. You know, like, you can see something and be like, oh, I know you're gonna love this. But like,
Yeah.
even like if this wasn't on my radar, it would work for me. Like, I just love when somebody kind of gets a look into like the life of like a privileged, like wealthy person who's hiding a lot of
Yeah.
secrets. Like,
And it's an author. That part's fun too.
yeah, yeah. And like being like, oh, like her ex-boyfriend's a stalker, her best friend's like a
Hmm.
backstabber, and like I know the grieving husband's hot, let's be honest. Like Connor is not like
He is hot.
ugly. So, um yeah, that one just sounds so good and I'm so excited for it.
Yes.
And my copy
The
officially
ending
arrived.
is wild.
Well, and I can't wait for
That's
her
all I'll
like her
say.
second one either because we talked
Hmm.
about how like interesting it is that she incorporated like the awful like epidemic of human trafficking in her second thriller. So I'm excited to see what she does
Hmm.
with that as well.
Yeah. Oh,
So it's like a
the
double
second one's
feature.
just, yeah. I think
Yeah.
you'll love the second one even more, but you'll love both of them.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. And she's so sweet.
Mhm.
She always like tells me how much she
She
loves us on the
is.
podcast.
I know. She's so nice. I love her.
Sweetheart.
Well, speaking of authors we just know we love, I'll keep going on with that trend.
Ooh, sneaky Pete.
Because I just got access to Amina Akhtar's book that comes out in February, Almost Surely Dead. So it has a lot of elements that we love. Dunia Ahmed lives an ordinary life, or she definitely used to. Now she's the subject of a true crime podcast. She's been missing for over a year and no one knows if she's dead or alive. But her story has listeners obsessed, and people everywhere are sporting merch that demands find Dunia. In the days before her disappearance, Dunia is a successful pharmacist living in New York. The daughter of Pakistani immigrants, she's coping with a broken engagement and the death of her mother. But then something happens that shakes up her world when someone tries to murder her. When her would-be killer winds up dead, Dunia figures the worst is over. But then there's another attempt on her life and another, and police suspect someone close to her may be the culprit. Dania struggles to make sense of what's happening, and as childhood superstitions seep into her reality, she becomes convinced that someone or something is truly after her,
Oof,
just like
scary.
repeatedly trying to kill her. Sounds
Yeah.
terrifying.
I love the trope of including a true crime podcast in a thriller.
I know.
Like
Yeah.
I just feel like
That's why I
whenever
was
somebody
excited when I saw it.
yeah, whenever somebody does that, I just am like, okay, that's automatically gonna be a yes for me.
Mm-hmm.
And usually they
This
always
cover's
work.
really cool too. Yeah.
Have you heard of that case of the missing woman who like God, I can't remember what her name is. This woman went from like Monterey, California to like this like yoga retreat that she looked forward to, and it was like her and like nine other people that go on it every year.
Yes. There were
And
like six
like,
people that were near her all day, but she disappeared.
yeah, they like saw her on a canoe, and like the like one of the women that were canoeing like was like, oh, she fell out of the canoe, and I think she
Yeah.
drowned. But like the minute the police were called, everybody who was at the retreat like checked out and they refused to like cooperate with the police.
Yeah. I've
It's
seen like very little so far.
it like when I like saw it, I was like, this is like crazy and scary, but for some reason it reminded me of something that Amina would write.
Oh, you're right.
Like I just like picture her writing something like
Yes,
crazy
at a
wild like
yoga
that.
retreat. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I like saw that. I was like,
Yeah,
oh
I
my God, I
agree.
need to talk to Kate about that. But
Yeah.
um
I need to read more about it because it is crazy.
I saw it on TikTok. I get like all of these like
Yeah.
little short, like if you want a true crime terrifying story, and like I always like scroll through TikTok before I go to bed. So
And
scare the
then
shit
have
out
wild dreams.
of me. Speaking of resorts and spas,
Ooh.
I have an author who I found, and I'm absolutely in love with her. Her name is Ashley James. She's an romance
Mm.
author. But one of the things I love in like romance
Yeah.
is sometimes like a bunch of authors will get together and they'll write like an 8, 10, 13
Mhm.
series of books, and each author writes a different book. So 13 authors got together and they wrote these books that feature the Black Diamond Resort and Spa, where the rich and famous go to disappear. So Ashley James, her book is called Wounded. Um, and it's about a character who is there for their last shot. He's hot-headed, reckless, and self-destructive, and he doesn't want to be here, but not doing so means losing everything he's worked his whole life for. If he does not succeed in this trip to the spa, he's going to lose his band. So his band says he has a problem, that he needs help. He thinks that whatever he's dealing with is just part of fame, and drugs help numb his pain. So he's doing his best to keep his head up and, just kind of kill the time until he can go home. Um, then he meets Rowan Davies, son of Hollywood's most famous movie producer and the new pain in his ass. Rowan is cheerful and his presence is refusing to be ignored. So when our narrator meets Rowan, they kind of end up finding that they're both broken and wounded where no one else can see, and that bond causes them to basically look into their lives and what they really are trying to run away from. So
Aw.
it just sounds so good.
Appropriately titled then.
Oh, it just sounds so good. And I love
It
her
sounds very
characters.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
you love her.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah. She's
Big
actually like,
fave.
she wrote the trilogy called Hidden Affairs, which are about sex
Mhm.
workers. So
Mm.
there's like somebody who has like an OnlyFans, like somebody who's like a high-end escort.
Yeah.
And like that's kind of what got me into reading more romance, because I just could not put it down. And like the pacing in her stories reads like a thriller.
Nice. Yeah.
So
That's the
yeah,
best when you find that
she's
in another genre.
she's amazing. She's amazing. So I have to read that one before the end of the year, because in
Yeah.
January she kicks off a 5-book series.
Oh
And
my
all
gosh.
5 books come out in 2024.
That's so creative and
I'm
interesting.
I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled by her. She had like a book come out in
Yeah.
July, September, October, and then now January.
Oh my gosh. She's
Yeah,
cranking them out.
crazy. And they're all so good. I love
Oh,
her.
what what a what am I trying to think of? I don't know.
I guess that's
Someone who
the thing
works
about
really
like being
hard.
like, yeah, like I guess that's the thing about being like an independent author.
That's true.
Like
Just
you don't have like an editor who's like going
publish.
back and forth with a bunch of other people, and you can just kind
You're
of
right.
like,
Less lag.
yeah, like she can be like, I'm gonna release this because I want
Nice.
to.
I love it.
And I'm like, swipe, swipe, I'll buy it.
I'll buy all of them.
I'll buy everything you write.
Well, I don't have a segue. I was hoping I had something that was like took place in a similar setting, but I don't. Um, but another book that I just got another arc I got access to this week that comes out in February is Since She's Been Gone by Saget Schwartz, Sagit. I don't know that I pronounced that correctly, so I'm sorry if I didn't. Um, but this one sounds like some dual timeline fun. And it says, can we ever truly know the people we love? Losing her mother to a hit and run at age 15 threw Beatrice Beans Bennett's life into turmoil. Bereft, she developed a life-threatening eating disorder and went through a challenging recovery process, which paved the way for her work as a clinical psychologist decades later. When a new patient arrives at her office and insists that Bean's mother is still alive and in danger, Beans is forced to revisit her past in order to uncover the truth. She learns the patient is a member of a notorious family that owns a drug company largely responsible for the national opioid epidemic, and that her mother was once tangled in their web. In a race against time and her mother's assailants, while once again facing the disorder she thought she'd put behind her, Beans discovers that, like herself, her mother had a devastating secret.
Damn. That sounds really
Sounds,
good.
yeah.
It sounds
I
like
can't.
very like actiony.
That's what I was thinking. It sounds like there's because this is the one that I was saying was compared to Luckiest Girl Alive, but it also does
Mhm.
sound very like action packed.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds very actiony, but like also like not like a spy thriller action. Like kind of like what's that movie? The Net with Sandra Bullock,
I
where it's
didn't
like
see
a
that
race
one.
against time. Oh my God. It's so I
I
mean
need to see that.
it's probably aged, but it's like
Well, yeah.
it's like a fun 90s like action movie with
Oh,
Sandra
okay.
Bullock. It's like the race against time kind of thing. But
Nice.
I mean, listen, anything with Sandra Bullock, I recommend.
Ugh, for real though.
Yeah. So,
She's just amazing.
but no, that sounds really good. And I'm also like interested to see like if the mother is alive, like I want to see how they like pulled off switching the bodies.
Right. I agree. I
So,
always love seeing what creative things someone comes up with.
uh-huh. Yeah, me too.
Not for any reason.
Never. Oh my
Hopefully Tyler
God.
doesn't listen to this one.
Yeah. If he does, we still love you, but
He knows it's not. He knows I wouldn't be coming for him.
yeah, but so we say I don't have a
Yet.
segue. After that, I don't have a segue. One of the ones I'm looking forward to, I can't find it right now. But I love the cover is Perfect Little Lives by Amber and
Ooh,
Danielle Brown. They're a sister duo writing team.
nice. That's
And
cool.
I read their book last year and I absolutely loved it. It was so good. But Perfect
Nice.
Little Lies is their new one coming out
Ooh,
December 5th. And it's about Simone's mother was murdered when she was 13. Her father was convicted, and overnight, Simone went from living in a wealthy white neighborhood to scraping by. 10 years later, Simone has given up on her dreams and lives a quiet life, writing book reviews and getting serious with her boyfriend. But with a true crime documentarian hounding her for a scoop and surprise encounter with her childhood next door neighbor Hunter, the past seems to be haunting her. After Hunter reveals that his father and mother had a years long affair, Simone is determined to find out who really killed her mother. Simone is convicted that all the evidence points to Hunter's father, a renowned judge who had everything to lose if his affair and love child came to light. Playing the game from all sides, Simone enlists Hunter's help in her investigation into his family, whether he realizes it or not. But is she so desperate for closure that she'll risk imploding her carefully rebuilt life?
that
So
sounds complicated in a good way, and that cover
messy.
is so cool.
It's so cool. Your
I
colors
love
are in
it.
it.
I know. Of course, I love it.
Yeah, yeah. But it just sounds
I read their
oh,
I read their book last year too. I forgot. I
it was
loved
so
it.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
so fun. I really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah. It was really good.
I just love like a cold case murder when they're
Yeah.
like, is this person guilty? Or are they not? I love like her teaming up with somebody that like she's hiding a secret from, like, okay, I'm gonna team up with you, but I'm like secretly investigating your father. So
Yes.
I think it's gonna be really good. And I'm very excited to read it.
I
It
think
kind of
so
seems
too.
like something like I want to save for like a snowstorm.
Ooh, that would be fun.
Like I'm just gonna hug my dog and read that in a snowstorm.
He's so cuddly.
Oh, he is. He's either like cuddly or he like sneak attacks. Like you think he's gonna cuddle you, and then he just tries to chew on your hands.
Oh, just chew on your hands.
Yeah, the only thing, oddly enough, the only thing that like calms him down is like he loves Harry Potter movies.
Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
He loves like a Harry Potter movie. I like to rewatch them around Thanksgiving. I just think it's fun, and for
Mm,
some reason, like the Harry Potter movies remind me of Thanksgiving. So,
yeah.
like
Fall.
obviously, do not. support JK Rowling whatsoever, but you know,
Right.
the movies are on HBO Max, whatever. So
Yeah.
I've just
Yeah.
been like rewatching some of them.
Oh,
And
and Murphy's a fan.
he loves them. He loves
That is so
them.
cute.
He like literally like sit on the couch and like watch. I don't know if it's like the music or all of the like flying around and like wild shit that they do, but yeah, it is so much fun.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we watched The Killer. It's a new movie, a David Fincher movie on Netflix. Um, it was very interesting and very good and very witty and very
Hmm.
violent. But there was like one of the people he was like stalking down had a huge pit bull in their front yard that kept barking, and Bruce was literally jumping because we have a projector. He was literally jumping against the wall, barking at this dog because the dog was having a really angry bark for like a 3-minute scene, and Bruce was just losing his mind and just couldn't calm down. We were like, bro, it's not real. It's not real. He
Oh
didn't
my
know though.
God,
He
that's
thought it
so
was
cute.
real.
Murphy keeps barking at, yeah, he barks. If there's a dog barking on TV, he like loses his mind.
Yeah.
And
Bruce sometimes barks at horses, and I'm like, bro, what are you gonna do to a horse?
oh my God, that is so weird that you said that because what I was
Oh
going to
yeah.
tell you is that the only time that I've had Murphy have like anxiety is when
Mm-hmm.
I watched Sleepy Hollow.
Mm.
Like he'll bark if there's a dog on TV and like he's like
Yeah.
fascinated with Harry Potter, but like I watched Sleepy Hollow and he legit was like whining and like did not like it. Like he hated the horse
Whoa.
and it scared the shit out of him and I had to turn the movie off.
That's interesting.
Like I had to coddle him like a baby. Like he was just
Oh.
like not having
Distraught
Sleepy
over the
Hollow.
horses.
No, he was not
Oh,
having it. I was like, did
no more
you?
Sleepy Hollow for you.
I know. I was like, were you a headless horseman in your past? Like, why are you like in a past life? Did you have an issue with a horse? But so
Yes, maybe you did.
that's it. Yeah, he just loves Harry Potter, hates horses. That's his Instagram
The
bio.
huge. Oh my gosh. Well, I wish I had a thriller about a horse to talk about now. But I
Same.
don't. But I do have a thriller called 27 Minutes by Ashley Tate. It comes out in January. And it's a very long synopsis, so just buckle in with me, which is actually kind of punny, and you'll know why in a second.
Oh.
Um, so the question. This is a dramatic synopsis, so I'm leaning into it. The question. For the last 10 years, the small claustrophobic town of West Wilmer has been struggling to understand one thing. Why did it take young Grant Dean 27 minutes to call for help on the fateful night of the car accident that took the life of his beloved sister, Phoebe? If he'd called sooner, she might still be alive. The secret. As the anniversary of Phoebe's death approaches, Grant is consumed by memories of that night on the bridge and everything he lost. His future, his reputation, his little sister. And the secret he's been keeping all these years is suffocating him. But he and Phoebe weren't the only ones in the car that night. Becca was there. She knows what happened, and she will do anything to help Grant keep his secret. The truth. Everyone in West Wilmer remembers Phoebe, but only June remembers that another person was lost that night. Her brother Wyatt has been missing for 10 years, and now June is alone. No family, no friends. Until someone appears at the door. Someone who may know where Wyatt went all those years ago. Someone who knows what really happened on the bridge that night. Someone who's ready to tell the truth. Taking place over 3 days and culminating in a shocking twist that will leave you breathless, 27 Minutes is a gripping story about what happens when grief becomes unbearable, dark secrets are unearthed, and the horrifying truth is revealed. Nice. It is such a cool cover.
It is really cool. It is really cool. Um, that sounds so good. That sounds so
I
good.
know.
I don't know if it's like I don't know if I just get like a high when we do the podcast or if it's your voice that does it for me. I'm like, okay, now like when they like when they reached out to me and said like, hey, do you
Mm-hmm.
want to check this out? I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Like I'll
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
but like for some reason, like you narrating that for me, I was like, this sounds so good. So
It was the dramatic italics. The question.
I'm down to buddy
The
read it.
secret. The
I'm
truth.
actually
We should.
I'm down to buddy read that with you because
Yeah, let's do it.
that is wild and I love it.
I like that cover's so cool. Like there are these details. Like it's kind of like you see like headlights in the distance, but then like there's an overlay over the dark sky that's like a clock. And it's so cool.
Oh, I know. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. We've got reading
I
to
did
do.
not notice the clock until you just said that.
I'm glad I pointed it out then because
I only
I
noticed the
think it's so
headlights.
yeah.
I
That's what
never
you notice
noticed the clock.
immediately. And then you see the clock.
Oh my God.
I know.
Ashley Audrain blurbed it.
That's awesome. And it also because it says for fans of Jane Harper and Ashley Flowers. So we know how much we loved Ashley Flowers' book.
Oh my God. I hope it's as bleak as Ashley Flowers.
I know. You're like, hopefully well, I mean, it does say like, what did it say? What happens when grief becomes unbearable. So I do think it'll be pretty bleak.
Oh my God. You're gonna be like, oh my God, I need like a mental health break. And I'm gonna be like, this is the best day of my life.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Oh my
much.
God. Well, if you need if you need a refreshing new genre after 27 minutes,
Yeah.
um, one of the books I'm going to be reading before the end of the year is my first book by Marley Valentine, who's like a very popular author in romance genre. And this book is called Devilry,
Ooh.
and she has multiple covers for it. One of them is a
Ooh.
man's booty.
Oh, nice.
Um, but yeah, it sounds very good. Attending King University was at the top of my bucket list. Falling in love with my professor was not. Earning a full scholarship to King University was my hard-earned ticket out of hell. I'm happy to be away from the small town I grew up in and all the equally small-minded people who live there. King was going to be my safe haven, a place where I could leave the old me behind and finally grow into the young man my family had desperately tried to hide away. Diving headfirst into new experiences, new friends, and parties, I didn't expect to run straight into the one thing I wasn't ready for. His arms are welcoming, his body is addictive, and his lips are heaven. Cole Huxley is everything I could fall in love with, except for one problem. I never wanted to fall for a professor.
We know how
I
much you love
do.
those.
I do. Oh, I want to fall for the Cole
That
Huxley.
is
Cole
right up your
Huxley.
alley.
Mm-hmm.
I know the names in Mail Romance are pretty amazing.
Oh my God. They
I'm
always
not gonna
so
lie.
like I always like giggle to myself because I think the queen of character names is
Hmm.
Sarah Shepard, who wrote Pretty
Yeah.
Little Liars, because like every character in
Oh,
Pretty Little
okay.
Liars has like a very cool name. Um,
Yes.
so I always like giggle because like whenever I read male romances, I'm like, Sarah Shepard, the one that's like helping pick out some of these names, because they're always like so cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, I'm gonna
I'm
read.
just looking at the different covers, so I was a
Did
little
you see the butt
distracted.
one?
No, I haven't been able to find the butt one, so you'll
Oh
have to
my
send me the butt
gosh.
one.
Oh my gosh.
Did you read the first one? I see this is a series.
No, so the first one is male female romance.
Oh, okay.
And the second one's a male romance, but they can be read as
Okay.
standalones. So
I see a cover with an apple, but it's just a literal apple.
if you are watching this on YouTube and you don't want to see a butt, look away. But here is the Devilry cover.
Ooh, yeah, see,
Booty,
I
booty,
don't
booty.
see that on Goodreads.
Yeah, I bet you won't.
That's special content.
Yeah. It's really cool. Like on her website, if you order a book from her website, you can pick what edition you want.
Ooh,
So is you like
love
the
it.
standard one or like maybe like an illustrated cover, but if you has like a not safe for work cover option,
Yeah,
you'll get a butt.
nice.
So that's my male romance advice of the day.
I love it. I mean, the covers matter, as we already discussed with Ace of Spades.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. Covers totally matter.
yeah. Well, speaking of cool covers,
You're like
not as
speaking of a
cool as
book with
mine.
an ass on the cover.
not not a butt, but it is a very cool cover. um, my last one is Rabbit Hole by Kate Brody.
Ooh.
So it is about 10 years ago, Theodora Teddy Angstrom's older sister Angie disappeared. Her case remains unsolved. Now Teddy's father, Mark, has killed himself. Unbeknownst to Mark's family, he had been active in a Reddit community fixated on Angie, and Teddy can't help but fall down the same rabbit hole. Teddy's investigation quickly gets her in hot water with her colleagues at the pretentious high school where she teaches English, her gun nut boyfriend, and her long lost half brother. Further complicating matters is Teddy's growing obsession with Mickey, a charming amateur sleuth who is eerily keen on helping her solve the case. Bewitched by Mickey, Teddy begins losing her grip on morality. As she struggles to reconcile new information with old memories, her erratic behavior reaches a fever pitch, but she won't stop until she finds Angie or destroys herself in the process. A biting critique of the internet's voyeuristic entitlement, Rabbit Hole is an outrageous and heart-wrenching character study of a mind twisted by grief and a page-turning mystery that's as addictive as a late-night Reddit binge. I made it through it.
I'm
Doesn't
so
it sound
pissed.
bleak, though?
It does. It does. But I also like, I love cold cases.
Yep.
Okay. You had me so the minute you told, like, you were like 10 years ago Angie went missing and her case was never
Uh-huh.
solved, and da, da, da.
Yes.
It's compared to Gillian Flynn, My Favorite Murder, and Fleabag.
Yes. Isn't that crazy?
So I automatically had to add this to my, like, I have to buy this. I have to own this book. This book has to be in my
Yes.
possession.
Yes.
Um, but the thing that's like very interesting to me is I love the cover very, very much.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, it's cool.
but it sounds incredible. Like internet voyeurism. Oh my God. Like what a
I
little,
know.
I'm pissed I did not, like,
Treat.
I'm pissed that I
And
just had
grief.
never heard
Two of
this.
my books had grief in them this week. How proud of me are you?
Very. That sounds
I'm bringing you back to
amazing.
I'm just secretly trying to bring you back to thrillers with bleakness.
I will say, like, there was like a time where like I read like 10 thrillers in a row and then I read like
Mm-hmm.
10 romances in a row. And
Yeah.
now that I'm kind of getting back into my thriller era, um
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited for like the back and forth. Like I'm reading a thriller right now that I'm loving,
Yeah.
but I'm also looking forward to like what I'm going to read for like Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
So, but that sounds fucking incredible.
I know.
God,
I'm very excited. I have a lot to
sold.
read before the end of the year.
Sold. Kate Brody. Wow,
Yeah,
that
so actually
sounds so
they
good.
what's so crazy is we chose this subject earlier today. I added this to my list. I've had it on NetGalley for like a month, and then they emailed me and asked if I wanted a hardcover copy today after I had just put it on the list to talk about tonight. It was a really crazy coincidence. So I was also like, also she wants to be on a podcast. I'd love to talk to her about it. So we'll see.
I just can't wait to read it. It
I
sounds
know.
very, very good. Um, yeah, yeah, that sounds very good. And I need to. That's exciting that they emailed you to see if you wanted a hardcover.
I know. And like right after I put it on my list, they were like, we saw that you requested it and we wanted to know if you'd like a hardcover copy. I was like, sure. Add it
Oh
to
my
my
God.
shelf, do a post about it,
Right? Tell them you want
read it.
two.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Like, well,
I'll send it to you.
I don't want one, I want two. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, that sounds incredible.
Yeah.
Um, this is what I love. You and I talk every single day, all
Right.
the time, about all different things, and
Yeah.
I would have never, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't even know about this book. So
Yeah. I hadn't really talked about them with anyone yet. And I was like, this is a perfect time to talk about my slowly growing NetGalley shelf.
sounds so good. I can't stop staring at that cover. I'm sorry.
I love
Um,
it.
oh, sounds so good. Um, I have one that I am so excited to read. It is probably my most anticipated read this month. Have you ever watched the movie Cruel Intentions?
Yes. I mean, a while ago, but yeah.
Yeah. So this sounds like romance that is like a modern retelling of Cruel
Mm.
Intentions. It is
Oh, that's
called,
so cool.
oh my God, it's so cool. Do I have it
Yeah.
here? It's called Infamous Park Avenue Prince by Ella Frank and Brooke Blaine. I love the
Ooh.
cover. Love the cover.
Yes.
Um, and it's going to be one of six. So they already announced that there's going to be six books in the series. Um,
That's exciting.
but it just sounds so good. It says, "Who are we? Like you even need to ask. We're the seven richer than sin legacies causing debauchery at a prestigious Astor University in Manhattan. Some call us spoiled, some call us trouble, but everyone calls us the Park Avenue Princes. Weston the Rue Playboy. I'm never one to turn down a bet, especially not when it comes to retaliating against the dean for pulling a dick move before summer break. So when the dean's golden child arrives at Astor for his freshman year, my fellow troublemakers throw down a wager I can't resist. The target, the dean's son, John Thomas Hawthorne, or JT. The bet, corruption in any way I can choose. It should have been easy with his mess of brown curls, pouty lips, and good boy reputation. JT is the perfect revenge, and even better, he's straight. Challenge accepted. I'll do whatever it takes to prove a point, no matter how reckless it might be. My God.
Nice.
I just love, like, literally, I was like, oh, he's gonna get revenge against the dean by trying to, like, hook up with his son.
Mm-hmm.
Cruel intentions. It's like
You're
literally.
right.
So that is,
That
if
is so
anybody doesn't
fun.
hear, yeah, if anybody doesn't hear from me around Thanksgiving, it's because I'm doing a rewatch of Cruel Intentions and reading this book.
Yes.
But I'm just like so pumped. Like I love Cruel Intentions is one of my top five favorite movies, like ever. I could probably recite it
Yeah,
word for word. So I'm really excited for this one. And I'm also excited that it's first in a series of six books.
I know.
And I already have the
That's really
second one.
exciting. You already have it, or they do?
I
Or
already
did
have the second
you
one.
have it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So
You're gonna
that is,
be breezing through them.
oh my God, I know. I'm gonna be like, oh, like here's a little like university romance, and then we're gonna read like all the
Dude,
bleak
one of your
thrillers
favorite
together.
themes is university stuff. So like dark academia and romance. You like
Yeah,
being in university. I
in
sound
university.
British.
You love to be in
In
university.
uni.
Uni. I do love uni. Give me all the unis. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what it is about like I don't know what it is about like a frat romance
Yeah.
or
Professors.
professors, and then I'm just like, or like murder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so good. They're just so good. I love a
they
university
are.
setting. Even like
Yeah.
my scary movies. Like I love a scary movie that has like a
Yeah.
college campus in it.
Mm-hmm.
I will just always devour them and probably be like, that is the best movie in the entire world.
Because it is.
Because they are.
So yeah, we've got a lot of reading to do, is the
Yeah.
moral of this podcast
Mm-hmm.
story.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys have more books to add to your TBR or books in common with us
Mm-hmm.
to finish off the year strong.